What's good, gang? So I recently saw the Fantastic Four First Steps movie about 3 days ago, and I'm finally about to do my review on it. I didn't want to talk about it like as soon as I was done seeing it because I had a lot of different emotions about it, but I think I finally know what I need to say. So I'll just go ahead and get into the casting of it. Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards is great. Like really, really spot on. Like he got Reed Richards' character down to a T as well as far as like his mannerisms, the way he talks, the self dread, self guilt that Reed Richards in the comics he has is a lot of times he has a solution, and sometimes the only solution he has is the most craziest, almost evil to a certain degree solution to where it's like I know this is wrong, but this is the only way. Pedro Pascal captures that dread really well. Sue Storm, Invisible Woman, she's what everyone's been saying. She's the heart of the film. She's really the emotional weight. She just holds the film well together with that, especially with a lot of the scenes where it just focuses on her, where it could have been cheesy. She actually delivered her lines really well. So kudos to the casting on that. Johnny, man, Johnny Storm is not just another womanizing player. Like that's the one thing Chris Evans did in the older Fantastic Four movies. He was just the player. He was just a guy who just got all the girls. And don't get me wrong, this Johnny still has that same charm. He still has that same little brother charm, but he's actually a very focal point of the team and he helps find solutions. He's not just there to be the annoying little brother. I really like what they did with Johnny in this film. I think it was very, very accurate to what Johnny Storm's character is. It really surprised me how they executed his character in this film and how they made him such a very important role. Last thing I'll get to was Thing, Love's Thing. I really like the CGI on him was pretty well done. I can tell at times when Ben was talking, I can tell his mouth wasn't moving as well with the lines he was saying. I saw that small nitpick for me. It didn't bother me that much, but I could just note I noticed it. So I guess leading from that, Silver Surfer. Let me get to Silver Surfer and Galactus, the actors and actors that played them. Silver Surfer played really well, right? Like as much as I wanted Norrin Rad to be Silver Surfer, Julia Garner, she made me kind of forget about that. I'm not gonna hold you. I'm not gonna hold you at all. I love Norrin Rad as Silver Surfer. I feel like he should have been in this film. Still, don't get me wrong, but she delivered her lines. She Every time Silver Surfer was on a film, I was glued. Like I was glued visually. Like I haven't seen nothing in the MCU that well just executed visually in a while. Like in a while. Like dead ass. I'm not even joking. Galactus in this movie was exactly the Galactus we wanted visually. Though you feel his weight, and I don't mean that just physically, but his nature as a being. One thing with Galactus isn't necessarily evil. He's just a force of nature. He just is, and I think they really did a good job with showing him as just that force of nature. He's not necessarily evil. He's not necessarily enjoying eating this planet. So, I mean, they really captured his being as a force of nature. That's really all I can get to. I want to talk about the visuals since I'm leaning on Julia Garner, Silver Surfer, Galactus. This movie looks really good for the parts they put the budget into. Right? I think the I think there are some parts where the budget lacked on, and I don't want to give it away. I kind of did with Thing, but aside from that, you can tell what parts of the movie they put the budget into. Boy, there's this one scene in like the second act of the movie. Man, dude, that was such a dope visual. Like really great visual in the middle of the movie. I don't want to spoil it. I want to talk about it so bad. This is a spoiler-free review, so I'm not trying to give away anything. But man, that second act, dog, man. But anyway, I think what they did well narrative wise with this movie, they really they made the Fantastic Four. Yes, they're a family. Yes, they're superheroes, but they're scientists. They're explorers, and they really leaned with that first. With the certain points of the movie, Sue really encompasses what they are as a family. Her being like the heart of the film, but again with the second act of the movie, or really just the whole movie, they really showed that these people are scientists. These people are intelligent. They're not just a family. They're not just superheroes. They are critical thinking. They look for solutions. They figure out what is the best way to solve this problem. That type of problem solving isn't always fleshed out well in a superhero movie. They knocked that shit out the park to a T, and they did that really well. As far as narrative wise, I love the narrative, the mix of the family, scientists, explorers, superheroes. They did it well, and I'm glad that this movie is not another origin story. I like this new wave that we're into with superhero movies of not having origin stories. I don't want an origin story. All right, unless it's a smaller character that people just don't know who they are. I mean, another origin story. I'm good off of it. That's me. That's pretty much everything I like about the film. Narrative, visuals, for the most part, were great. The casting, man, those actors really did a good job. I can't really say too much more about them. I need to get into the things I don't like. There were definitely some things I don't like. The movie, three-fourths of the movie was so great. They built the movie up like you're on a roller coaster. You're going to the top. You're going to the peak part of the roller coaster, and right when you're about to get ready for the huge drop, that's what it does for me. It just drops at the end for me. And I don't like the way this movie ended. I don't like the way this movie was handled in the fourth act. I think the fourth act definitely has some good moments, but I'm just saying overall what this movie did, it just didn't give me what I wanted. Even if I take out what I wanted from the movie away, even me looking at it for what it is. I know I said the same thing about Superman being predictable, but I still enjoyed it. With this movie, when you have a villain like Galactus, this movie's not supposed to be predictable. This movie's not supposed to be. I shouldn't have known what was going to happen, and I just knew, and that's what took it away from me. I enjoyed the movie. This was a good movie, but the way it ends it just killed it for me, man. It really did. I really did not enjoy the ending, this fourth act of the movie. It had great moments. Johnny had a really great moment. The plan that they built, the plan that Reed Richards figured out at the end, it was setting up for something great. And I was expecting one thing, but I didn't get that. So I can only say so much without saying a lot. I don't want to spoil it because not everybody goes sees movies on opening night, opening day, whatever. So I want to have respect for people that haven't seen the movie, but at the same time, I just really have a lot of disdain because that's how good I think this movie was. I think it just did so many things well for it to end the way that it did. The movie was underwhelming near the end. And again, even with Silver Surfer, as much as I love Norrin Radd as Silver Surfer, Julia Garner's Silver Surfer made me forget about it. It made me not care about it as much. I really enjoyed her scenes. That what they did with Silver Surfer in this film was just so dope. I can't stop talking about it. It is. I know I've said this multiple times, but it's just really good what they did with her scenes. And the dynamic between the characters, well done. Nothing felt out of place. None of the characters felt out of place. Everybody felt like they were exactly where they were supposed to be doing, where they were supposed to be at. It's like all the chess pieces are there. But then you make a wrong move and it completely just kills your match. I just don't think this movie was executed well at the end. It is what it is. The weight of these movies just don't feel the same. I don't feel the cost. I don't feel like the stakes were there. The stakes were there in this movie. I'm I'm not satisfied. I'm not satisfied as a Marvel fan. I'm not satisfied even as a movie fan. Just I wasn't pleased with it. But hey, it is what it is. The post credit scenes were cool. I don't know what's happened with Marvel in treating their product, especially key moments when it comes to post credit scenes. They treat them like that's not what they built their name off of. Marvel built its legacy off of post credit scenes. And for the past 5 years, I have not seen a post credit scene that just had some level of urgency, some seriousness. I mean, Marvel Thunderbolts post credit scene had a pretty good level of seriousness to it, but that was a mid post credit. That wasn't even an end credit. The urgency that Marvel once had is just not there. And I don't know who's working at these companies. I don't know who is leading these people with this type of directioning. I don't get it. I know Kevin Feige's still in charge, but there's some people that are under him and there's some people that are under those people that aren't treating this like a legacy, more than a decade legacy, and it's just not befitting to what Marvel is. It's just not. And I've been watching Marvel since I was a kid. I know this stuff. I've read a decent amount of comics. And again, I'm not even saying it has to be ripped off the page. I'm not saying everything has to be ripped off the page comic book accuracy. I'm not saying that. There needs to be a cost, a sense of urgency when it comes to these post credit scenes. And Marvel just don't do it no more. They just don't. I don't know why. But I say all that to say I'm gonna give this movie a 6. I know that's crazy. I know a lot of y'all are gonna disagree with me. That's fine. This is my opinion. Go see the movie still. I'm not saying don't go see the movie. Go see this movie. It's a good movie. It's just the movie's so damn good. For it to end the way that it did was just wow. Like, come on. Come on. Some things can just be done better. And when someone has set a standard of greatness for you, you're going to expect that same level of greatness all the time. It just is what it is. That's the curse. That's the curse of being great. That's what I give it. I gave the movie a 6. Tell me what y'all think about it. If you liked it, if you hated it, how you felt. I understand Superman and this movie came out around the same time, and it's very easy to compare. I don't think you should compare someone's day one to another person's day 1000. Like Superman's day one of the new DCU. It is maybe not day one, but it's still like the early processes of the DCU. Put that to the side. This movie, in comparison, compare it to other Marvel movies, not to DC movies. I know people are going to want to do that because it's a superhero movie, but it's not. It's just not the same. The villain in this movie is not a day one villain. The villain in Superman's movie is not a day. He's more so of an early character. He's not a big boss. Like a lot of y'all are gonna get mad at me by saying that about Lex Luthor, but Lex Luthor is first Superman movie villain. He just is. Now, does that mean he could be a end villain near the end of the DCU? Sure, he can, but he could be an early villain and a late villain. Galactus is not a day one villain. He is a boss level villain. He is not a mid-level boss. He is not an early level boss. No, he is a end game, no pun intended. He is a end game boss villain, and he should be treated as such. That's my opinion. That's me. But hey, agree with me if you agree with me. If you don't, it is what it is. But hey, that's what I think about Fantastic Four. That's my opinion. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about it. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you like. Let me know what you don't like. Have you even seen it? Honestly, if you haven't seen the movie and you're watching this, you should not listen to me. You should turn this off and go watch the movie. Don't. I've never been a fan of like watching movie reviews before I go see a movie because that's somebody else's opinion in my head already. So no, just go watch it, go enjoy it. Let me know what you think. Then come back. But until then, y'all be easy.